Greetings, comrades, and I welcome you to my Week 4 Team Builder for the PAL Season 5. This week, we're going to be heading up against Coach John and his Saskatchewan Cyndaquils. Now, Coach John did replace Coach Alex because Alex had some personal issues and had to drop out of the league. So, the Toronto Terminators turned back into the Saskatchewan Cyndaquils, and John is returning coach from last season. And, he was the person who came the closest to beating me last season, prior to the playoffs. So, I'm expecting quite a good fight this week. Anyway, as you see at the bottom, he has this pretty interesting team of Mega Pidgeot, Victini, Primarina, Diancie, Infernape, Salamence, Hitmontop, Scizor, Necrozma, and a Alolan Persian. A lot of cool guys there, a lot of good guys there. I'm bringing my Golurk Thunderous Therian form, Manbuzz, Bronzong, Mega Glade, and Incineroar. So I'll go over the reasons why very soon. But let's start this off by going over what I'm expecting out of his team. You got Mega Pidgeot. Now Mega Pidgeot's extremely fast, extremely strong special attacker. Stab Hurricane. Its ability is no guard, so Hurricane is perfect accuracy regardless. Also gets Heat Wave, gets U-turn, so it can do some pivoting and coverage move in that. Him Power does get Roost for longevity. Can also get Tailwind. So if he chooses to use it in more of a support role instead of a Tailwind for his team, that could be an interesting strat as well. Victini is probably the scariest thing on his team, with base stats being 100 across the board. It doesn't really necessarily, it's like, jack of all trades, master of none. It's not really it doesn't excel at any one thing, but it's not bad at anything either. Frankly, there's so many different sets that I can see here. You could throw Z-move on it because ZV Create is, like, deathly. But, I mean, with V-Create being 180 base power and Stab 100 base attack on him, he could literally just throw a choice band on it and start clicking V-Create and expect everything on my team to die. So, let's see. You could Choice Scarf as well, which is also scary because Choice Scarf V-Create and Choice Scarf would negate, I believe, would really negate the first speed drop and bring it down to normal base 100 speed. If I'm doing that math in my head correctly. But otherwise, very scary mon. Could also be special as well because it does get Searing Shot, which is another powerful fire move. But it also gets access like Thunderbolt or Fusion Bolt on the physical side, and all these other great moves. So it is a very scary mon, and no matter what set he decides to bring, a little worried. Anywho, after that, he's got Primarina. Primarina is exceptionally slow mon. As opposed to the first two on his team. We're only based around 60, 65, somewhere around there for its speed. Water Fairy type, amazing special bulk and special attack. Physical bulk is a little to be desired, so really like a poison jab kills it, but you know how it is. You can't have the best of both worlds. Or you'll end up like Victini. Just without V-Create. Anyway, now, gets Moonblast, gets Psychic, gets a lot of different coverage moves. Scald's pretty much guaranteed on it if it comes. It's just something to watch out for because it's extremely bulky mon. Might be something I might have a little trouble getting rid of with my lineup. Thunderous is on my team. Thunderous is my only answer to it. I believe the way I have it set up, he will OHKO it with Thunderbolt. Unless this is like I have seen Assault Vest being used on this, so. I'm tired. Anyway, after that, he's got Diancie. Diancie is an interesting mon with 50 base speed, 50 HP. But then his defenses are both 150, and its attack stats are both base 100. So it's extremely unique mon. It is a Rock Fairy type. So it's 4 times weak to Steel, which I plan to capitalize on. Does get Stealth Rocks, but also gets a unique move in Diamond Storm, which is a high-power physical rock move that has a 50% chance to double his defense every time he uses it, which is crazy. Which is the #1 reason why Thunderous cannot sit in front of it, even though Thunderous does have access to Flash Cam. It's common to see just like a max HP, max special defense set for it, with relying on Diamond Storm to boost his defense in case of anything. Nothing too crazy about it. I'm probably gonna see like Stealth Rock's Moonblast. Maybe Toxic. Diamond Storm. I don't know. Infernape's another fast fire type. It is faster than Victini. Is the second fastest thing on his, actually the third fastest guy on his team. Base 108 speed, which does outspeed pretty much most of my team. I think Galley's the only thing on my team that outspeeds it. Choice Scarf built are common on it. It does get Iron Fist as its hidden ability, so you know it does get Mach Punch, Thunder Punch, Fire Punch. So all those punches start really hurting. Also has close combat, stab, Flare Blitz, so it really inflict some power. Can also be a mixed attacker because both of its attacking stats are good. It is rather frail though for being a speedy firefighting type. So I really just have to be able to take the hit and dish one back to kill it. Golurk's a pretty good answer to it because of its standard bulk, and it is bulk and everything. And then I can just I'm immune to his fighting moves. So if he locks himself in like close combat, I can just switch Golurk in and then get a free Earthquake off on something because he only has one guy, two people who are immune to Earthquake on his team. So odds are that I'll have a pretty good switch in. Pretty good way of dealing with that. That guy does have Salamence. Now Salamence, Instrumon, he's got decent bulk. I think it's like 80 across the board. It is fairly powerful. Gets D-Dance. Also gets Moxie, so it can snowball out of control. But also has Intimidate as well, so it could be used as a check to something like Golurk or Gallade or Incineroar to bring them down to a level where, oh, I'm not going to get the KO at this point. I got to switch out, and then momentum's in his favor. But it is a potential defogger as well. Something to watch out for. But I think the most common thing I'll see from him is D-Dance set. At that, he's got Hitmon top, and this is his spinner. This is his like, okay, I gotta get hazards out of here. Rapid spin, fake out probably because it does get it and is very useful. Also gets close combat. I don't know what else you'd really want to put on it. It's used mostly for defensive purposes because I have all the Hitmons. It is the most defensive out of all of them. I like how its sprite is just like back and forth as well. At the Scizor, only one weakness for him, fire. And he's got decent bulk too, so I need to hit him with a Flare Blitz if I'm going to kill this guy. Swords Dance, Bullet Punch hurts with Technician. Also gets access to Knockoff and U-Turn, Bug Bite, Pursuit, so I don't know if it gets Pursuit, it gets Thief. But it is a very powerful mon, and one that I've always had trouble with in the past. In my earlier battling days, I tend to have a pretty good handle on how to deal with it now, but yeah, it is what it is. Now, Necrozma. His Necrozma is another one, like, besides Victini, this is the other thing I'm worried about, because of its ability of Prism Armor. And Necrozma is already bulky, and being Psychic gives it 3 weaknesses. Ghost, Dark, Bug. That is it. As you see, I do not have Bug. As you see, but I do have a Ghost and a Dark type. So those are my answers there. But Prism Armor makes it so their standard moves are not going to be doing too much. When he does get access to the moves that he needs to take out, and Longevity, Moonlight, he could set up screens with it, and then start stalling me out with Toxic. So I have some answers for this, which I'll show you very soon. But then the last guy is a low in Persian. Nothing too crazy here. Does get Parting Shot, and Z Parting Shot's a very, very good move. Foul Play, Fake Out. It's a VGC monster, but that's about it, in my opinion. Foul is extremely fast, and its ability does make it a bit pretty physically bulky. So, most of my team is physical, so that might be an issue. But Foul Play's not going to do much to say. Incineroar, Mandibuzz, Thunders that won't really care for it. So, you know what it is. But anyway, let's head into my team. My team's the guys you are here to see. As you can already see, there's a little special there. And we got Milo the Golurk, rocking that Earthquake, Phantom Force, Heavy Slam, and Ice Punch. Iron Fist for that boost on the Ice Punch so I can get that, clutch those KOs on Pidgeot. But Ghostium Z, because Phantom Force Ghostium Z does about 90%, or I think, to Necrozma. So if I can get off my plan, which is to Toxic Necrozma and do a little chip damage, Golurk can come in and just smack it. Smack it with that Phantom, Never-Ending Nightmare. Send it right back to whatever hellish dimension it came from. But Earthquake is a pretty good answer to Victini and Infernape. It's also super effective against Diancie. Not exactly what I plan to hit Diancie with. Also neutral for, Hitmontop, Scizor, and Primarina, so it's good for them. Heavy Slam is what I'm expecting to hit the Diancie with, because as long as it's not max physical defense, Heavy Slam OHKOs it. And then Ice Punch for the Salamence and the Pidgeot. It will OHKO the Salamence, and it should do hefty damage to the Pidgeot. So, that is my plan there. It's just max HP, max physical attack, Adamant Nature, so it's really not going to outspeed much. If I can get a Trick Room out with Bronzong, then sure, that'd be cool. Now you know how it is. Yeah, you're learning a lot today. And after that, we do have my Thundurus, Thunderbolt, Hidden Power Ice, I believe. I believe it's Hidden Power Ice. Flash Cannon and Agility. Now, Thundurus is really only gonna get to do what he needs to do if he brings Hitmontop. Because if he brings Hitmontop, then I have something I can come in and set up on. Because then I could really just destroy his team. I resist bullet punches, which is the only option of priority, and his team doesn't really handle Life Orb boosted attacks from this guy. Thunderbolt pretty much hits everything on his side neutrally. The only thing, it's super effective against the Mega Pidgeot and the Primarina, but otherwise everything else takes neutral from it. Hidden Power Ice, that is exclusively for the Salamence, so I can guarantee the kill on that. Flash Cannon is exclusively for the Diancie, so I could kill that if it's not especially bulky. Life Orb gives me my, or if it already has chip damage. Life Orb gives me the needed little push for that agility, so I can make sure I outspeed his team, because Mega Pidgeot does outspeed me, as does Infernape and a Choice Scarf Victini. And I think I speed type with Salamence if he runs max speed on that because of Hidden Power Ice. So that is something to think about. I mean, if he decides to lock Victini into, like, Fusion Bolt, then you know what? That's cool too. But that'll give me an opening, but I need more of the Hitmontop to guarantee a good opening. And then we do have Mandibuzz. Foul Play, Ruse, Defog, and U-Turn. Overcoat. He is supposed to be holding leftovers, so I don't know why he's not holding leftovers, but I'll fix that before the match starts. Hey, Foul Play is, I mean, he's physically bulky, made to wall or be a good thing to switch into Victini, because Victini cannot OHKO him with anything. So, I mean, that's as good as it gets, really, for dealing with Victini. And if he's at full health, and Victini, if Mandibuzz is at full health and Victini does not get a crit with V-Create, then I can Foul Play him and kill him instantly, as long as it's not Choice Band, because then I won't live from the second one, regardless, because he'll. I guess I might outspeed him at that point. But Roost for longevity. Defog is for if he decides to set up rocks on me. If I get a chance, I'll get rid of those rocks, because those is bad for half my team. And then U-Turn, because things like Diancie and Primarina and Hitmontop, I do outspeed, I believe. I don't know what Hitmontop, but I know Prima, Scizor, and Diancie I do outspeed. If there's no speed investment on any of them. So U-Turn would allow me to pivot, get some damage off, and pivot into something that could take the hits better. But yeah, Overcoat is standard ability on it, because I'm not going to give him weak armor. Anyway, after that, we do have Ding Dong the Bronzong. This one is Sassy, max HP, max special defense. And we got Heat Proof with leftovers this week. Heat Proof, baby. Because, again, Mega Pidgeot's biggest coverage move is Heat Wave. Now, that one normally destroy Bronzong, even an especially bulky one. But doing Heat Proof makes Bronzong pretty much do almost no damage from it. And I resist. I resist Hurricane. So, this makes you a good answer. And I could 2-hit KO with Gyro Ball. Toxic, Stealth Rock, Trick Room. Trick Rooms, if needed, probably won't need it. Stealth Rock is, however, to, set up rocks and because he does have a lot of guys who are weak to rocks or neutral to it. Only one guy in his team resists rocks, and that is going to be Hitmontop, which is a spinner too. So if he doesn't bring Hitmontop, then his entire team is going to take some hefty damage from Stealth Rocks over time. Toxic is pretty much for Diancie and Necrozma, because both of them are extremely bulky, and because Diancie's so slow, Gyro Ball doesn't really do anything to it. And same with Necrozma, especially if he goes a physically defensive build. But Toxic will guarantee decent damage over time. And what's Necrozma going to do? Set up on me? I got max special defense for a reason. So that's pretty much that. They're going quick through this, guys. Anyway, Gallade, we're actually bringing Swords Dance this week. Swords Dance Gallade, max attack, max speed, jolly nature. Hold that Galadite. Sword Dance, Ice Punch, knock off Zen Headbutt. Again, no fighting move. I don't know, I brought fighting move week 1. That was it. Every week since that I've brought Gallade has no fighting moves. But I mean, look at his team. Mega Pidgeot, neutral. Victini resists. Premier resists. Diancie neutral. Infernape neutral. Salamence resists. Hitmontop neutral. Resist. He only has one guy weak to fighting, and it's the guy who's physically bulky because of his ability. It's not worth it. Anyway, he outspeeds a good amount of his team, and he's something that if Necrozma wants to set up with like Calm Minds and go for like stored powers, I can just go Swords Dance and knock off, and that will do exceptional damage. Ice Punch again for the Mega Pidgeot and the Salamence. Zen Headbutts for pretty much everything else. I know this kind of leaves me walled by Persian and Scizor, but it is what it is. I have other things to deal with them. But Galley's pretty similar this week. Just a standard Swords Dance build. Anyway, our last but not least, we do have Brawn, the Incineroar, rocking that Darkest Lair, Earthquake, U-Turn, and Flare Blitz. Blaze Nature, of course, Intimidate is not a thing yet, and a Choice Scarf. Now, this is the interesting thing. He's max attack, Adamant Nature, but max speed instead of max HP this week. So he's going as fast as he can. And his role is, Scizor's here, switch in, and just Flare Blitz. Because this guarantees that he will be faster than a max speed, max attack Scizor. This guarantees that he'll be faster than a lot of things. But this guarantees that he'll be faster than the Scizor. So even if Scizor goes and gets the Swords Dance up, Bullet Punch does not do much to me. It does less than half my health because I resist it even after a Swords Dance. So he'll be forced to go for either a U-turn to try to pivot out, or for a Brick Break or a Superpower to really KO me. In which case, Flare Blitz Okos. Because even if he's max physical defense, Flare Blitz is still an Oko because of my max attack, Adamant Nature, and Stab. So, I mean, that's the squad. That's what we're rocking. Milo's there to deal some Ghost EMZs. Thundurus, maybe he'll set up some speed and just start murdering things. Mandibuzz going to take those hits. Bronzong going to take those hits. Poison a few things. Gallade might not get to do anything because he's probably the least useful guy there, but I need a 6th, and I didn't want to bring Superior or Ninetales because of the fire types that were all over his team. And then Incineroar. Incineroar's got a one-track mind, but he's going to do his job. I guarantee it. Anyway, guys, I'm going to sign out here. I hope you guys enjoyed this team builder, and I hope you're all looking forward to the battle. That will be put up tomorrow. And so, yeah, I'm going to get here. Enjoy the rest of your night. Do svidanya.